Namaste guys, and I hope all of you are doing great. First is a big thank you to all of you for the 40% discount. Was such a great success. I was able to help many out there, and that is such a nice feeling, right? And so, with my both hands together, thank you so much guys. Thank you for supporting me. And for those who haven't taken the advantage, the 40% is still available until the end of this month. It's not many more days to go. So drop me a mail or now with the WhatsApp. I can connect you instantly as well. Okay. Before going to the video, I would like to say something. It's a message that I wanted to say. Of course, I couldn't say it to my clients when they come, but some of the clients who come to me with this childlessness problem, they put the blame on the women. Okay, which is unfair, which is unethical. It's even cruel from my point of view. When a couple is unable to have a baby, it is both or one of them is involved. Okay, it is not just specifically the women. Okay, it's also the men as well. This is science, and so do not have this narrow mindset that the women are the only one which is responsible. Of course, medical science says that it is both, either both of them, or one of them has some problems. Okay, it's just not the female. The male also has his part. It's a message that I wanted to say. I think that if you an aspiring astrologer, I want you to have this thought in your mind as well. Okay. So yeah, so that's the first thing I'm going to say. Now, going into this childlessness things, okay, we need to, anything in Vedic astrology, when someone comes to you, okay, you need to put them into 3 compartments, 3 drawers: the mind, body, soul. Okay, the first thing you need to assess is the mind, second is the body, and of course the integral part, which modern science doesn't, or disagrees or dismisses the fact of the soul's intervention, which is what we astrologers do. Okay, and I believe if you genuinely want to help someone, you must have all the avenues, regardless of whether you believe it or not. But if there's evidence that it works, then you must use that, because at the end of the day, the idea here is to help someone, right? So I'm a true believer of the spiritual world. It exists. It's really beyond any of my understandings, but it does exist, from certain clues that I have every now and then. I do believe that the soul exists and it controls us in many ways. Okay, so again, mind, body, soul, 3 different drawers. We look at the first one, the mind. When someone, this is not, this is apart from astrology, when someone is unavailable to have a baby, okay, as I said earlier, it's both the husband and the wife involved here. They have some kind of a fear, okay, fear of, whether they're going to be good parents or not, fear of probably what will happen during labor. They have seen some people have, passed on both the mother and the child during labor, or if the child will have some kind of a defect, some kind of a development issues during, after birth, they realize they have all these things. So these are common fears which I've seen in my clients. And guys, it is important to understand that it is just not the body involved here. The mind also plays an important role, when it comes to having a baby. So remember, mind, body and soul. Okay, I'm going to talk about all these things so that you would understand, as an astrologer, as an aspiring astrologer, when clients come to you, you will have a better connection with them. Okay, it's important that you understand this. So that's the thing, you need to assess, is this client has any conditionings, psychological problems, maybe do they have any kind of a fear, unusual fear? Talk to them first, talk to them, get all this information. Okay, second thing is that the body. Of course, this is the obvious one. The procreation organs must be working. Okay, all these things can be tested in labs and in hospitals, they provide all these testings in fertility clinics and all that. Now, speaking about fertility, infertility is there's two types, right? One is the primary, which means the couples cannot have babies at all. The other one is secondary infertility, which means they'll have the first kid and it stops there. All right, and all these things, what I'm saying is, all these things you need to get information. Are they newly married or they been married for a long time? All these things you need to gather first of all. Okay, once you have this sufficient gathering of both the mind faculty and the body faculty, and then you can proceed with the soul. Okay, so these two things must be covered. Now, if they have not done the medical testings, or they have not understood what they really think and feel about having a baby and all that, then that needs to be covered. Maybe it's beyond astrology, but it is your obligation to let them know that do they have any fears, or did they had any injuries, any accidents, any physical defects do they have? All these things needs to be cleared off first. Okay, and then comes to the soul part, where we look at the charts. Okay, so these are the prerequisites, guys. It is important. Okay, the first three things that I've said, the mind, body, soul, these are the prerequisites you need to clear. Then we can go into the details of the charts itself. Okay, now we get to the charts. What do you need to see? Okay, there's a lot of work. Okay, recently I just did one for a couple. It's a lot of things that you need to check, and so don't believe in this online service where they it provides immediately the results, whether a person can conceive, and all these it's just rubbish. Okay, don't fall for that. Okay, it's a lot of work. Okay, number one, you need to look at the D1, the Rasi chart. Again, you need to look at both husband and wife, both. Okay, Rasi chart. The Rasi's chart, first thing you need to look at is the mind. Okay, so the positions of all the nakshatras of the moon. Okay, the moon rules Rohini, Hasta and Shravana, right? So you need to look at their positions and their influence in that D1. Okay, now you also need to look at if you look at the wives, then you need to look at the husband's positions of all of these three nakshatras, Rohini, Hasta and Shravana, the one that controls the moon, again the one that associates with the mind. Then you need to look at, after that, you need to look at the first house, which again shows the health of the body, the vitality, both husband and wife, and every other things that comes with it. Okay, when I say look at it, means first you need to look at the drishtis. Okay, the graha drishti, the rasi drishti, sometimes even the bhava drishti you need to look at. Okay, and the lordships, of course. Okay, the first lord and its influence on that house. The same thing, the nakshatras of the moon, Rohini, Shravana and Hasta, and their influence as well. Again, both the husband and the wife. Okay. Next, we need to look at the fifth house, which is the house of unconditional love, which is why they call it as a Putra Bhava, and the grahas involved there, the conjunctions, the drishtis, Rashi drishtis, Bhava drishtis, Graha drishtis, and the nakshatras are influencing the grahas in that house. The fifth lord and its influences on the chart, that needs to be looked. Remember, again, husband and wife. Okay, now once you have done all that, okay, you need to look at the Rasi Lord. Okay, Rasi Lord again further clarifies the mental state of the person. Okay, because it's the position of the moon in the chart. Okay, so you need to look at everything again the same thing. The moon's potency, which graha is together with, does it have any astangatas or not? Does it have any malefic drishtis, and so on and so forth. All these things needs to be looked at. Again, for the husband and wife. As you can see, there's a lot of work. Now, it doesn't stop there. This is only for Rasi, your natal chart, the birth chart. Okay. we also need to look at the chart which shows what's going on right now, the entry chart, the dasa entry chart. Okay, yeah, because you can't be deciding something which happened when you were born. Yeah, you can see some birth related stuff, fine, but what we are interested also to see how's things going on right now, isn't it? So you need to look at the existing chart. Okay, same thing again, you need to look at the moon's nakshatras. You need to look at the first house, you look at the fifth house, the rashi drishtis, the graha drishtis, bhava drishtis, the nakshatras involved. All that needs to be checked again on both the wife and the husband. Okay, and it doesn't stop that. You need to check the past life chart. Okay, so you remember all the way we were talking about the mind and body. Again, the mind and body, right? We saw the Rasi chart, we saw the entry chart. Okay, these are the things. Now again, both are the first two drawers, the mind and the body. What about the soul chart? Okay, I did mention the soul will reveal. Sometimes this is why sometimes there are miracles, medical miracles, right? Because medical practitioners, of course, most of them, they do not rely on the subject of spirituality. Okay, but it is important as astrologist that you do that, right? For you to counter check if there's anything from the most recent past life. So the most recent past life chart is a subdivision of the D9. Okay, you need to there's a way to do that. Okay, so you need to look at the subdivision of the D9, the ninth division of the D9, that is, and then from there again the same thing, the first house, the fifth house, the moon's nakshatras, and all that needs to be assessed in every possible ways. Okay, and now you have all three mind, body, soul connected together. And remember, this needs to be checked for both husband and wife. Then once you have gathered all that information, now you'll have a solid background for you to provide remedies. Okay, so some people will just say, if you go to an astrologer, they will say, okay, just recite this mantra or go to this temple. It doesn't work that way. Okay, I'm not putting them down or anything like that, but it doesn't work that way. You need to do all this work. From there, you'll have a report, and that report will be then plugged in to find the appropriate remedy for the couples. Okay, and so there's a little bit, yeah, I know there's more. There's a little bit about how you can find a good remedy, and I'm very proud to say that 90% and above my clients have received the graces of God for a child, and they are happy now, having a family, some even children. So I believe in this thing. It really works. Okay, but again, it's a lot of work. Okay, that's another message I want to convey here. It is not a simple thing to do. It is not just checking something here and there and that's about it. It doesn't work that way. As you can see, it involves how they think. It involves their physical body. It involves in how the soul is trying to explain what things are going on with them and why they cannot have a baby. Okay, so that's it, guys. I hope this video is informational. If it is, then please do like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so. And remember, with the WhatsApp thing, I'm getting a lot of WhatsApps nowadays. Do send. Sometimes, of course, when you're sending, I'll be sleeping, obviously, but do keep sending it, and I will definitely respond to all of you. So thank you, guys. Namaste.